Good morning, this is Daniela White with Urban Christian News Network. Glad you could join us today. Here are the top 10 news stories that you need to know about right now. First today, in an interview with CNN's Anderson Cooper, Southern Baptist Convention President Fred Luter said that God's judgment will come down on America, not only for homosexual marriage, but for other sins such as abortion, racism, and violent crime. He appeared on CNN to clarify a statement that he made in an interview with Christian radio host Rick Wiles of True News, in which he said the current North Korean military threats could be a result of America's slide toward immorality, particularly concerning homosexual marriage and the push to allow homosexuals to serve openly in the Boy Scouts. You can watch his full interview on bcnn1.com. Second today, according to the AFP, the North Korean Army has said that it has final approval to launch merciless military strikes on the United States, involving the possible use of cutting-edge nuclear weapons. In a statement published by the official KCNA news agency, the General Staff of the Korean People's Army said it was formally informing Washington that reckless U.S. threats would be smashed by cutting-edge, smaller, lighter, and diversified nuclear strike means. In response, the United States has moved a missile battery to the island of Guam. Third today, according to Mediaite, recently black entertainment television founder Robert Johnson commented on the high black unemployment rate in the United States, remarking that the nation would never tolerate white unemployment being in the double digits. He sat down with Fox News host Bill O'Reilly to further elaborate, admitting that President Obama is getting a pass from the black community because they still have immense pride in the first black president and are still hopeful he'll turn things around. Fourth today, according to the Chicago Tribune, Reverend James Meeks took to the pulpit of the Salem Baptist Church of Chicago and exhorted his congregation to make its voice heard by lawmakers who will vote on whether to allow homosexual marriage in Illinois. He called on the church in Illinois to wake up and make its voice heard. During Illinois' lengthy and divisive debate on same-sex marriage, perhaps no group of lawmakers has been singled out for more intensive lobbying than African American state representatives. With the measure a dozen votes or less shy of the 60 votes required for final approval, advocates on either side of the issue consider the 20 black House members key swing votes in the spring session. Fifth today, according to CNN, University of Louisville guard Kevin Ware doesn't want to see any replays of his severely broken leg, suffered during a weekend basketball game on national television. He said the gruesome injury in which his right shin bone snapped and protruded through the skin was part of God's plan, and added that God would never let anything happen that he wouldn't want to happen. He also expressed confidence that he will play basketball again someday. Sixth today, according to Reuters, the global economy is recovering. Although the younger you are and the longer you've been out of work, the less likely it is that you will have noticed. A modest upturn in the major developed economies noted last week by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development should be a considerable relief for Western countries still struggling to run down huge debts. But with persistent recessions across Europe and high levels of youth unemployment and long-term joblessness, signs that growth is picking up may offer little cheer. Seventh, according to CBN News, Christians in central Nigeria are asking for prayer after a new round of violence left as many as 80 people dead and more than 4,000 others displaced during the Easter season. At least 19 people were killed this week when gunmen attacked a mostly Christian ethnic group in the Ware district, located in a remote area of Kaduna State. Reverend Yusuna Madu, Chief Executive Officer of Christian Solidarity Worldwide Nigeria, said, "We request prayers for and extend our condolences to the families of all those who lost their lives during the tragic events of last week." Eighth today, according to Reuters, Connecticut Governor Dannel Malloy has signed a tough new gun law that restricts sales of the sort of high-capacity ammunition clips that a gunman used to massacre 26 people in minutes in December in an attack at a school in the state. The law also requires background checks for all gun purchases, expands the number of guns covered by the state's assault weapons ban, and establishes a $15 million fund to help schools improve security infrastructure. Ninth today, according to CNN, Texas Governor Rick Perry announced a reward of up to $100,000 for information leading to the arrest and indictment of the killers of 2 Kaufman County prosecutors. He called the slayings direct attacks on the core of our civil society, and said these are heinous crimes and they've affected not just Texans but people across the country who respect the rule of law. District Attorney Mike McClellan and his wife Cynthia died in a weekend shooting at their home, almost exactly 2 months after McClellan's chief felony prosecutor, Mark Haas, died in a daytime shooting outside the county courthouse. 10th and finally today, according to CBS News, Facebook says it wants to flip the smartphone focus from apps to people. At a press event in Menlo Park, California, CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced that the company is not creating a new phone or operating system. Instead, the social network is launching a new experience called Home, which is a collection of apps that features a home screen and user interface that is focused around Facebook. Users will be able to install Facebook Home through the Google Play Store for Android devices. That's today's top 10 news stories. You can read all about these stories and more at urbanchristiannewsnetwork.com. As you go throughout this day, keep this word in mind. Hebrews 12:2 says, "Looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God." Thanks so much for listening. May God bless your day.